on the football. We don't have enough football coaches in America, apparently.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. The poor guys are getting no instruction. Still running the wing T out there. What is this proposal, and what is happening with unlimited coaches?
Yeah, I mean, right now, the only coaches, the only staff members on a football staff who can actually offer skill instruction, they call it, to players are the 10 assistants and the one head coach. Overall, that's 11 what they call countable coaches. So support staff people, analysts, consultants, quality control folks, they are not supposed to actually coach, even though that rule is bent quite a bit and broken quite often, probably. And so because of that, they're just planning on, at least according to this proposal, that is just a proposal for now. This proposal would let everybody on staff offer skill instruction, not only in practice and in the building, football building, but in games on the sideline. So obviously that's a fairly big change, because then you basically open up the staff to an unlimited amount of coaches who can be hands-on with players. It's something coaches have pushed for years now. In fact, this same proposal was introduced last year and was rejected by the D1 Council, partly because of the fear that there will be a proliferation in coaching staff sizes. That is one part of this. I think the second part of this is much more interesting, and that's the recruiting piece. So according to the proposal, the 11 countable coach, the maximum amount of coaches you can have on the road off-campus recruiting is 11. The 11 countable, a head coach and 10 assistants. So that's still the same. However, you've kind of blended the two groups now, right? You blended the support staff guys who now can coach with the countable coaches. So in a way, it does give a head coach flexibility to take, maybe say, like, this is an example, but an older offensive line coach who doesn't want to go out on the road recruiting anymore, and take a support staff member, promote him to an assistant offensive line coach, and make him your countable recruiter who goes on out to the road. That is pretty interesting, right? Because you could have staffs evolve into two separate kind of divisions. You could have a group of recruiters and a group of X's and O's
front office
type of position coaches and coordinators, right? It's kind of an NFL type model. Now, some coaches I talked to believe that won't necessarily happen at many places, because position coaches will still want to do the recruiting and go visit the campuses and homes and start building relationships. But other coaches tell me, no, they think that this rule will be, if it does pass, will be kind of manipulated like many rules in the NCAA, and you'll have separate scouting or recruiting teams whose sole job will be to go out on the road while all the, quote, coaches, X's and O's, tactical guys hang back. So now this is, again, just a proposal, and it was rejected last year by the D1 Council. So it's got a 6-week socialization period where they'll receive feedback, and then the NCAA football oversight, who originally introduced the proposal, will meet again in mid-May to I think they'll probably eventually adopt it. But then it is subject to the approval of the D1 Council. And so we'll see if this year they will give their stamp of approval.
So, I mean, the big difference between, as Dan alluded to there, like an NFL front office and college, is the fundamental difference of talent acquirement. Is the NFL, they draft, so they go out to watch players perform, and they view them as potential employees that they don't have to win over in any way. In college, the recruiters go out on the road to watch first of all, whether they can perform, but then to start building a relationship. So the offensive line coach has familiarity with the star offensive tackle he's trying to get and that guy's family. And then you've got that relationship and they get in the building and the player has somebody they feel close to who's been there since they were a junior in high school. And, hey, you know what? My girlfriend broke up with me. I need somebody's office I need to go in and talk to. Well, there he is. I think there's value clearly to what's gained in face-to-face recruiting by people who become your coaches. So I'm sure there's some people that don't want to do it. I wouldn't want to do it at a certain age, probably like at the age I'm at right now. If you gave me the opportunity to not be an on-the-road recruiter, I'd say thank you. But I do think there's a lot of value that's gained in that could be at risk of not being there going forward. I don't know. We'll see.
The recruiting pit, because that's the part you always hear the coaches say they like getting to the NFL. It's just football.
Right.
And they don't really have to do, these guys, and they may help a little bit in draft prep, but it's not the not recruiters. And then you could just get this, they've always had these guys on staff. So they say, he's just, he's basically a recruiter. He's not really a coach, just super smooth.
Right.
Like this could be like we get the really smooth dudes. Like they don't even know anything about football. Just you go down the bar, see the singles bar. Like this guy's a real talker, man. He can just sell. I mean, like if you sell like medical devices, you don't know how the thing works, but you're the one who can smooth the head nurse. She puts in the order, right? Like this is just straight salesman. This could be wild.
It could, and there's this was brought up to me by an athletic director because I think many of the ADs were one of the reasons that they pushed back against it last year. Why it failed, because they were afraid of several things. One, the increasing of staff sizes, in salaries too, right? But one of the ADs mentioned something really interesting to me, and that's if you do separate the two, and you have back home your coaches, and then you have these separate 6, 8, 10 just recruiters. Well, those recruiters don't necessarily have to live where your school is. Maybe they set up shop as a scouting department in another state.
Just sit in Atlanta or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, like NFL scouts who don't live where their franchises are.
Yeah, couldn't you see Ohio State or something setting up a bureau in Orlando, Florida with their recruiter there? Or recruiters, plural, recruiting that state.
Work from home, yeah. Spread out.
So that is certainly something that's concerning for administrators. We'll see if that comes up over the next few weeks.
Interesting.
Yeah. We got to go kill like a men's wrestling team so that we can have a recruiting bureau in Orlando.
Priorities, man. Priorities.
Yeah.
One more guy. Yep. All right.